So I investigated how Shelby Sapp makes $1.2 million a month with info, and what I found gave me actual clinical depression. Over here on the Instagram, what are we doing here? First, in terms of content type, we're doing like sort of like strong independent woman slash girl boss motivation. You think of like the ICP that she's targeting. She's obviously not targeting like sort of like the trad wife, stay at home mom type ICP. She's targeting more people that, like want that like strong independent woman vibe of like, getting that bag, girl. You get that bag, girl, or something like that. That's what she's targeting. And so that's sort of the type of content that she's going to be making, is targeting towards those people or converting people into that mindset. And so what do we got going on here, Shelby?
Which Art Basel parties to go to find a millionaire husband? The best Art Basel parties in Miami to walk out with a millionaire boyfriend. Shut up.
And so you can sort of she's like mocking the whole mindset of like, like trying to like marry into riches or whatever. Like, you can get the riches yourself, girl. You go, girl. Is pretty much like the mindset she's going for there. Next one, credibility. Obviously, a person that has riches is much more likely to be able to get you riches. Like, very simple principle. Therefore, the more that she can show off the fact that she's actually rich, the better that her content's going to be doing, and the more like leads she's going to be actually able to be converting. You can see her in like the pink G-Wagon or whatever. I don't really know actually what that car is. I think she has like 3 pink cars that like, I don't even know what's going on there. But she's pretty much just like, I think like buying a ton of houses or something. Let's see what's going on, Shelby. Tell us what's going on here, Shelby.
On today's random adventure, we are house hunting in Sedona to go look at some investment properties for me. I've got to buy like 1 or 2 before the end of the year.
So true. And so that's pretty much what's going on there, is just like a little bit of flexing basically. Next one, third person slash podcast POV. What am I talking about here? This one's a little bit more low key, to where it's like sort of just like a subliminal thing, I would say, where it's not necessarily like in your face. But if you appear on a podcast, or if you are being filmed from the third person rather than you just filming yourself, it sort of raises your status above the average person, because anybody can sort of just pick up a phone, start taking selfies and stuff like that. But not just anybody can, like actually be filmed in the third person by somebody else, doing something, because that like sort of implies that you have the amount of wealth. You can like hire a camera person. It looks more professional. It sort of just raises your status a little bit. Next one, G-Wagon value. This is sort of her main content type, and so this is just when he sits in her pink G-Wagon or whatever. It's like a different one. Let me see. I think that's the pink G-Wagon. But sits in her pink G-Wagon and basically just gives like a ton of value around sales or mindset, stuff like that. Next one, random trend slash virality. Obviously, this is just content going towards a more wide audience. It's like the trend where you like pull like some car or whatever. I don't really know what's going on there, but obviously that's more mass awareness content, just trying to get views. And I would say that like sort of builds a little bit more of a relationship than regular types of content, just in terms of value, because it just shows you off her personality. As for what else is going on here, there's not much. So we just have proof linked in the highlights, which is always what we love to see. I love seeing that. And then obviously like all of this where we're on Instagram is just going to be top of funnel content, because you can't really do anything else besides top of funnel content on Instagram. I mean, that's just pretty much like the definition of what Instagram is. It's like getting eyeballs before sending them down the funnel, right? Which, speaking of what happens down the funnel, it's actually a little bit weird, but Shelby Sapp doesn't really have that much going on YouTube. And even what she does have is still top of funnel content, which was a little bit unexpected for me. And she's only posted a few videos, and even the videos that she has done aren't really like sort of like more niche value that you would expect out of a funnel like this, but more just like very general, like top of funnel interest based content. Like, you deserve to build your dream life. Very vague, goes to a lot of people. A lot of people would be interested in just the idea of building their dream life. It has nothing to do with sales or anything like that, although she might talk about it in the video, right? Unleash your confident money-making alter ego. Okay, like sort of same thing there. And so that's really all that we have going on here. And so this is a very wide funnel, simply because it's only really going for the top of funnel. And I wouldn't even say really middle funnel at all, sorts of content. And so this is really all top of funnel content, in my opinion. And so what is all this going to? It's all going to her free live masterclass. And so this is actually a webinar funnel, how to step into high ticket sales with Shelby Sapp. This is a pretty interesting funnel. You don't really see like a lot of types of funnels like this. I would definitely recommend testing out like a VSL here probably. But this is like a little bit unconventional, but oftentimes what is unconventional can work a little bit better, simply because it looks less like what a lot of other people are doing. But obviously the industry standard is the industry standard for a reason, right? So I would definitely like test out different things on the sales page, but this probably works decently. And I know she's making a lot of money off this, so it doesn't really matter. This is just like the what's inside section. And then obviously we have like the calling out her ICP. This is for you if this, and then also disqualifying people that aren't her ICP, right? And then just introducing herself. So, I mean, I'm sure it works decently. Moving on to the thank you page. This is actually probably the best thank you page I've ever seen in my life, which isn't really that cool because it's just like a thank you page. Like this is not like the 20% of activities that's going to get you the 80% of results. But I actually do think it does really well at like actually getting the person excited to attend the webinar and stuff like that, which I'm not going to like go over the full thing. You can watch it for yourself if you want. Moving on, we have a little bit of email marketing going on here for Shelby Sapp. And the thing is, I can't really tell if this is a man trying to become a woman, not become a woman, pretend to be a woman. If it's like just sort of mainly ChatGPT, I think there's like a decent amount of ChatGPT here, or if it's like an actual woman just like pretending to be like a girl boss when she doesn't really have that mindset. I don't really know what's going on here. My assumption is that it's just like some dude that's pretending to be a woman, but you know, I don't really know what's going on here. Like, rise and shine, bestie. Like, really? No time for this masterclass. Like I feel like if you see that emoji more than like once every 5 emails, I feel like it sort of has to be, okay, well, there it is again. So I feel like it's just a man trying to pretend to be a woman. But anyways, that's pretty much all we have going on there. It's not really an insane amount of substance with Shelby Sapp's funnel. If you want free resources, all centered around info marketing, you can check out the description. Free school group with an actual ridiculous amount of resources, and I'm not even like exaggerating about that. All free, you can check that out. And if you want to work with me to sell more info, whether that has to do with funnels, copywriting, or something else, there's my work with me sales page, which I think is pretty entertaining, and so you can check that out. So other than that, take it easy, or better yet, don't.